Hi guys! So today we are going to do a DIY to make your own mistletoe. Gorgeous, ain't it? So I came to this idea because mistletoe isn't very common over here, so you can't buy it very easily. So I thought, why not make it myself, and why not make a video? So the things you will need are some thick felt, green of course, some beads. I'm using glass pearl beads, some pliers that are rounded like this, and some pliers to cut the wire, some wire that's sturdy enough to hold the felt, but small enough to thread the beads on. Some elastic bands, some how do you call this? Well, there we go. Some embroidery thread, also green. A small scissor and a big scissor that's specifically for fabrics. So let's get started. So first off, you're gonna wanna cut all your little leaves. I'm just freehanding them because they don't have to be exactly the same size and the same width and stuff like that. You just cut them like this. Make sure you have a part to attach to the wire that goes straight, and make it almond shaped like this. I already cut a bunch of them over here that I'm gonna use. So make sure you have enough so that you don't have to stop halfway, because sometimes you're at a part that you can't let go of your work and you'll need more leaves, so make sure you have enough. Then we're going to get the wire, and you're gonna want to cut them different sizes. So first you'll cut one as long as you want your piece to be, then a little bit smaller and smaller, but don't go smaller than about 5 centimeters. I think that's like 2 inches, 2 or 3 inches, because it will be very hard to to attach it to each other. So I'm gonna go about this length, so, and I'll use my other tweezers to straighten it out. Doesn't have to be perfect, because branches aren't perfect, but make it as straight as you can, like this. Then bend one end, and you can do two things. Either you go with one bead and you can go for a green bead to make it blend into the rest of the leaves so you don't see it very well, or a white bead like the mistletoe always have, like the little they're not grapes, the little berries. And you can also say I take a yellow one or a light green one, the ones that are starting to ripen till they are white. So I actually used white, yellow, light green, greenish yellow, and dark green to resemble the different kind of stages of ripening of the berries. So also use different sizes to make it more believable. So you can say, I will put a bead on the end. Oh, let's take another one. The hole is plugged. Put it on the end, close it up, and make your leaves around it. Or you can say can do something like this. It looks like a small nail, but this one is especially for jewelry because it's bendable, easily bendable. Just thread one of the beads through, bend it a bit to make sure where you want your eye to be, like that. Then snip it up. And close it. And you have something like this. So I already pre-made a few of those too. You see? And you can just thread them on your hook you already made and just make a bunch of berries. Oh, there goes my bead. Oh, and well, eventually you will end up with something like this, and when it hangs down it will all be bunched up like this and look like some berries collected by each other. So that's what we're gonna do. Let me do that off camera a little bit because it's really hard to do over here under the camera, and we'll get right back after. So we finished these. So now we're gonna have to get to the thread. Now I personally like it a little bit thinner than the embroidery thread itself is. So I untwist it and split it in half. You have 3 little threads within it. I hope you can see that on camera. Yeah, okay. So I take 3 and 3 and just pull them apart like so. But of course you will need a bigger piece just to show you what I do with it. So when you've done that, you take your thread, fold it over, twist it, and twist it. Trying to do this looking at through the camera, and take your big part like so. Then take your how do you call that? Your wire, and close it around it like that. Now you will have this small piece hanging off it. That's okay. Just hold it against your wire, and it will disappear underneath the rest of your thread. Now, what I do is take it like this. Keep this one next to your thread, your wire. Take your big piece, wrap it around your fingers, over, and then back to the back. Then take your fingers through this loop, grab your wire, pull it through, and tighten it up. So wrap around your fingers, over to the back, grab through the loop. And that's all to it. Just keep doing that a few times so that you will be able to have enough space to put your leaves on. So I'd say about 1 centimeter, that'd be, I think, a ½ inch. I'm not sure, I don't work in inches, so I'm guessing it's about ½ inch, maybe a little less. I believe 1 inch is 2.5 centimeters, so that should be a little less than 1 inch, or ½ inch. I don't even think 1 centimeter, then I'm more like ½ centimeter. I'm a little too enthusiastic maybe. You'll need about this big of part, so it's not really big. I think maybe 2, 3, no, about 4 millimeters is that. So it's really small part, not very big. And take 1 leaf and hold it in place. Take another, hold that in place, flip it around and take another one. And now comes the hard part. You have to hold this all together and wrap your wire, your thread around it like we did earlier. Like, I missed again. It's not bad if you mess up, just try again. Make sure your beads are all up top. Maybe I'll just start with 2, then add another one later. Just make sure it's secure. Two are easier than 3, like so. And that should hold it enough to be able to let it go a bit and add your 3rd leaf. Now you don't have to add 3 leaves, you can add 4 or 5. Just what you think look best. And I might even, no, I'm gonna keep it with 3 leaves with this one. Now keep adding more knots on top to make sure those leaves aren't going anywhere. Make sure it's tight. So now they are nice and secure, they're not coming out. And you are gonna take your little scissor and cut them diagonally to smooth out your edges so it blends to your, make sure you don't cut your wire, blends easier into your wire. So, and just keep adding your knots. Now to make it easier on yourself and not getting your thread stuck in your beads and stuff like that, I personally like to add a what do you call it? Oh, sorry, I'm extremely bad at English today. Just add your elastic like this, so it doesn't interfere with your knots, and just keep tying those knots, and eventually you will end up like this. So I'm gonna do that off camera now because it's a little bit easier. I don't have much room underneath my camera or phone actually. So I'll be right back and show you how to connect your pieces. So what I forgot was to show you how to add a leaf midway. So here we go. It's a little bit trying. Okay, there we go. So you take your leaf, put it on top, and just wrap it around like this, like you normally would. If I can, yeah, there we go. Tighten it up, make another one like that. Now you can see it lies really flat against it all. So what we're gonna do is bend it backwards a bit, and to keep it that way we're gonna wrap around, go through, and make our knot. Do another one like that, wrap around your fingers, go between the leaves and your stem, and take your thread through the loop. There we go. Then make a normal one just on top, like so, and the thread between it should keep it a little bit outward, like so. And then just take your scissors again, trim them like so. Make sure you don't cut your wire, your thread. So, and just keep wrapping until it's all covered again, like it's over here. So, to combine two, to attach them, you're gonna wanna bend one a little bit, like so. Then hold your other one against it. Now you'll have two big wires. Just pick one, doesn't matter which one. You can always swap them out if one is getting too short. So hold it together like this. Just wrap around like you normally would. Make sure all the small threads are going down and not up. Okay. Now, like the leaf, you go between, like so, a couple times this way, and then turn it around that your other one is facing your right or your left, depending on which hand you're using, and wrap it around this one like so. it around all of them again. Like so. And just keep working it till you think it's secure enough. I think I'm gonna go 2 more times around this one. Flip him around. And 2 more times around this one. And then wrap them around both of them. And you'll see that they're starting to connect and make a little lump over here. Now that's okay because most branches have a little lump where branches start to split. So that's what you want to make it a little bit more realistic. And then just wrap around till you think you're far enough to attach another branch. So I'm gonna keep doing this and connecting it to the rest that you already saw in the beginning of the video. I'm gonna connect it to this part, and then I'm gonna come back and show you how to make the ends neat and connect them. Okay, see you in a bit. Okay, so now we're at the end. I trimmed all the wires to the same length, and I added 2 of the split wires together, so it's the thickness of a normal wire now, of a thread now. Now we're gonna add one of the leaves with a longer piece of attachment part, the wrong side up. Oh, I hope my thread is still long enough. Now flip it over and keep adding those knots. So that you'll end up with something like that. And I'm gonna keep tying this together to finish it off, and then I'll show you how you can put a ribbon around here. So I'll be back in a few. So we're back, and now we're gonna attach a ribbon with a hot glue gun. Like so, not very hard. Anyone who used a hot glue gun before will know how to do this. Now, just cut it off. There we go. And I've already pre-made a ribbon to put on here. So we're gonna stick that on here. Like so. And there we go. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit that like button below. Subscribe to my channel. And if you decide to recreate this mistletoe, please send me a picture on Instagram or Twitter. Links will be in the description bar below. And I hope to see you next time.